I am starting. So are the phones and the buds all good? Everyone's good? This is rat your neighbor out time.
All right, everybody.
Oh man, that one plugged to the wall. Holy crow. Spoil it for everybody. All right, so my friends, I believe we did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Agreed? If you didn't get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, make sure you get with the neighbor so you can have that down. All right, here we go. We are out of here at 47. Okay, we got this. All right, so plan today is to get through the rest of this worksheet and call it good. Works? I mean, we got time, so, and again, I expressed to you that, why I wanted this. I feel that this chapter actually will apply more to you as you get into the real world, just as far as when you are receiving information. And I think it's good to be knowledgeable about it. Knowledgeable with N if you're from Nebraska, or a K from anywhere else. Okay. Nobody understand that joke? All right.
Nebraska, like the Huskers.
So the big joke is, what does the N stand for on the Nebraska football helmets? Knowledge. So kind of fun. All right. So down at the bottom of page 147, it says a study on bullying in high school asks 100 current random students in the Denver area high school and 100 students who graduated from the same Denver high school 20 years ago whether or not they felt threatened in school. They compared the current responses to the 20 years ago to see if bullying is getting worse. Okay, so somehow this statistician is collecting data from 100 random students from a Denver high school, and then they found another 100 students that graduated 20 years ago. And so they're trying to figure out if bullying in high school has gotten better or worse. All right, so which type of bias might be here? Recall, absolutely. And I love this recall. Why? Again, can I prod why recall?
Maybe because they're collecting data from different years.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah.
I love this.
I love this memory.
Yeah, hazy memory. I mean, 20 years ago, asking somebody, hey, how was high school back then? 20 years ago. I mean, what can I tell you about my high school? Yeah, there was stuff we did when I was in high school that probably shouldn't be spoken of, but it was kind of fun. I mean, at lunchtime, we used to have a big quad area. We only had one lunch period, unlike here where there's 12. But me and Mark Wood and Matt Armstrong from the Orange Story, and Brandon West, Matt Armstrong lived right across the street from the high school. And we used to go to his driveway with a water balloon launcher and water balloons and launch it into the quad area where everyone was hanging out. That was fun. Yeah. That was a lot of fun. That, in fact, that was probably the worst thing I ever did in school. Believe that? I'll tell you another fish story. All right. Yeah, so, all right, everyone's good with number 7?
Yes.
All right, and then number 7 plays into number 8, as specifically as you can describe in context how the bias may result in unrepresentative sample of opinions. So, you're asking somebody 20 years ago how the bullying was in school, and they might not be able to recall it, but there's another perspective too. 20 years after high school, people might have had families, and perhaps their child has gone through some mean kids, and they might attribute that back too. So it's almost like they're living vicariously through their kid. They might not have felt bullying was bad when they were in school, but now that they have a child, they see it on the forefront, and it's much worse now because my child is being bullied, and so therefore I must have been bullied when I was in school, which I don't know. And let's face it, it's not fun to get bullied, especially by your teacher. I mean, I'm such a big punk. All right, so are we good? So there is another type of bias that falls into recall, but it also becomes something where, have you ever heard a friend tell a story and then a few weeks later you have another friend that conveys a similar story because they're almost like vicariously living through their friends? I mean, my buddies in Arizona, to this day, they will bring up stuff, and it's like, I think I have a pretty good recollection of how things happened, but I swear, my friend Justin Gonzalez, he is like the biggest superhero according to him from what he was back in the day, and it's like, no, you were just a little skater dude. Yeah, little skater dude who he's, his family's from Mexico, so he's Mexican, and I remember him being punished by his parents and his grandmother especially if he ever spoke Spanish. I kid you not, that was kind of a thing. It was weird. So, all right, I'm on page 148, top of 148. It says an internet. 8? 8 was just because somebody, the memory is faded, but they also might, there's another bias that's not listed, but like they might have heard events that took place that then they convey back 20 years ago. So was it really that bad back then? Oh man, that's how I remember it. All right. So top of page 148, it says an interest poll posted on a popular website asks which fast food restaurant is the best from a set of 5 choices. People could choose any of the 5 options, but many will not bother to answer the poll. Of the 1,400 people who responses, 811 selected Burger Barn. Yes, we made that up as the best. Okay, so item 1, what's the population of interest here? What do you think here? Fast food eaters? Yeah. People who like fast food, I guess. I mean, let's face it, if you don't like fast food, you probably won't go onto a fast food website to take a poll. Actually, when was the last time you went onto a fast food website? Yesterday? Okay. I'm trying to recall myself when I would have gone down to a fast food website, but I don't know. All right. And then, Yo quiero Taco Bell. So what is the population interest? What is the sample? Yeah, that was the 1,400 responses. So the 1,400 responses is number 11, the sample. Which type of bias is potentially a problem here? Response? I like this because you have or under coverage. Okay, yeah, I think response or under coverage both might be a good idea. Okay, so under coverage might fall into. Let's see, I might be answering the next one. Would require everyone to answer the survey before leaving the web page fix this problem? I don't know. What do you think? So of the 1,400 people who went to this website, 811 of the 1,400 people who responded, there was probably a lot more people who went to the website saying, "Hey, will you fill out this brief survey?" No. Okay, so then you also get like non-response that's taken place. But if you required people to go to the website and get locked into it before they left it, I mean, you ever gotten locked into a website? What do? Shut down whatever search engine you're using and reopen it, right? Clear your history so it doesn't find you again. Adjust your cookies. Isn't that one of the things?
Adjust your cookies.
Isn't that you can't you like clear your cookies? Isn't that kind of like how it tracks along what you looked at?
Yeah.
All right, are we good on 10, 11, 12, and 13? So, would requiring everyone to answer the survey before leaving the webpage fix this problem? I don't think it would fix the problem. I mean, I think really what you're doing is you would frustrate a person that would figure out, it's like, no, I'm not going to take this survey. You can't make me. Okay. And if you had websites that locked you in where you couldn't leave until you did a survey, people would probably be like, I'm not going back. Recall and undercoverage. I like it. All right. Oh, we answering this question way too late because we already went through the elections. But it says a political pollster conducts a survey in which they ask the following question. Okay. So here's the question that this pollster is asking people that show up to King Soopers. It says many organizations have called for eliminating pennies from our money system because making them is wasteful. Do you support the elimination of pennies? Ooh, this is one we haven't talked too much on, have we? So read it again. It says many organizations. So this person is reading this question. So it says many organizations have called for eliminating pennies from our money system because making them is wasteful. So is that where we go? Non-response? It says what? Oh, yeah, it does. The next paragraph says the question, they asked this question by standing in front of a local bank and asking people who walked past. About half the people refused to participate. Okay.
They're asking people who care about money.
Yeah, okay, so you're asking people, so yeah, reading that next paragraph kind of makes sense. So this could be, you have a non-response. We have under coverage because you're out in front of a bank. Not everyone's showing up to a bank. It's not random. But I also think response falls in there because the question is a bit leading. I mean, you throw into there, I mean, you're saying rather than asking somebody, hey, do you feel they should eliminate pennies? Where you're not really biased in it, you're not trying to lead a person, but how this question is asked, you have called for eliminating pennies from our money system because making them is wasteful. So you are putting a negative thought in their mind about a penny. I mean, I don't really care about pennies that much. I mean, I've heard that, this organization wants to get rid of pennies. I mean, is it going to really change our society if we no longer have a penny? You're going to have people that have penny collections and they're going to try and sell them. They'll probably get more money for it. So maybe that's the leading cause to it. So, yeah, there's all kinds of things because one, you're out in front of a bank, you're talking about under coverage. You have, you have response problems there because only half the people said that they would do anything. But you also, as far as your information went, how the response is set up, you've given them a negative in the quoting. It's like, it'd be like, let's go a real emotional topic. Do you feel, let's see. So, do you feel that unwanted animals should be put down?
No.
Okay, now I'm just saying that I don't feel that way either. I'm not trying to motivate you one way or the other, but so an unwanted animal should be put down. I could change that kind of statement to if an animal is violent and unwanted, should it be put down? So now you're making the animal become like a horrible thing. And I'll tell you what, my sister works with an organization down in Arizona. It's called Hand Over Rover, and they are an animal rescue in which they contact the Humane Society and other places, and they find out which dogs and or cats might be put down, and they will go pick up that animal and not allowed to be put down. And this rescue has gotten so popular that a woman out of Michigan actually bought them a $12 million ranch. Yeah. And the woman who runs it, her name's Coco. And you guys want to know a little secret about Coco?
Yeah.
Okay, there's a new TV show on. It's a 30-minute about a hospital. It's kind of a comedy. I forget what it's called. Has anyone seen this show? It's a 30-minute hospital show, kind of a comedy. No, it's not House MD. Hang on, here, I'll look it up.
Oh, it's Scrubs?
No, it's like Scrubs, but it's a new show. Google new 30-minute medical show. Let's see if I can find it. Yeah, St. Denis Medical. So this particular show right here. Oh, darn it. I don't want to go here. Just show me that. So this particular show that's on called St. Denis Medical. Coco is dating the main character in the show. Let me see if it'll show this person. It's the kind of redheaded doctor. Yeah, he's not redheaded. Let's see. It is not that guy still. Not that guy still. Let's see. Where is this guy at? All right. Let's say St. Denis Medical. Okay, Google. St. Denis cast. So Coco is dating Josh Lawson. So I thought that was kind of cool. My sister was so excited to tell me that Coco's dating this guy. I'm like, so. All right. What's that? I'll look up. Well, here, let me see if I can find it. Handover Rover Animal Rescue Arizona. Handover Rover. This is this one that my sister works with. See if it's gonna go there.
Instagram link says Coco Garcia.
Oh, Coco Garcia. Yeah, that's Coco right there. I mean, she's kind of blurry on that. So adopt, donate, sponsor an Easter egg. So yeah, it's let's see, maybe that's under sponsor an Easter egg. And she has dogs that I went over there one time. She goes, okay, I need to put this dog away. I was like, oh, why is that? Because he will attack any male. I was like, oh, okay, thank you for putting the dog away. Let's see. No. Adopt. Let's see if we adopt. All right. Oh, there we go.
Who would want to put that Jeffrey down? He's so cute.
That's my dad's name.
Okay.
I didn't know your dad.
Oh, Steve. What is his name, bro?
I vote cowboy.
Bruce. Waylon.
Tater.
Tater.
Oh,
Look at Dozer. Dozer's awesome. And then Snap. Anything else?
Wait, where's Crackle?
Is there Crackle? Oh, I don't know. Maybe they're not ready to. Maybe that dog is not ready to be rescued. I don't know. Yeah. So things I can tell you about Coco. So Coco will go out and drive around Arizona in Phoenix area, and if she sees a dog that's out wandering without a tag, she will take it home. if she sees that a dog is chained up in a backyard or a front yard and it looks like abused, Coco will steal the dog. I kid you not. She's even gone up to people that she knows who are in the process of making their dogs as fighting dogs or bait dogs. Do you guys know there's something called a bait dog? And a bait dog's job is to run out and get another dog to follow it so the other dog can maim it. I mean, I kid you not, these are actual dogs that she rescues. And some of the dogs she has will indeed eat your face off. And if you ever have the opportunity to meet Coco, her arms, up and down her forearms, are just scarred from being bitten and mauled by dogs. And she believes that every dog can be saved and absolutely refuses to ever put down a dog. So when you get your cell phones back, if you go find Handover Rover on Instagram, she posts every day stuff about dogs, and you're just like, you fall in love with every dog you see. So, all right. So, are we done with 12 and 13? 13. Reword this question in a way that would eliminate bias.
Why should we keep pennies or why should we not?
No, do people
Yeah.
really care for when they
Yeah.
Do you use pennies in your day-to-day life?
Something like that, yeah. Should we get rid of pennies? Do you feel pennies are still part of our currency we should use? I don't know. All right. Hey, finally something here from the county that we're in. It says Arapahoe County wishes to build a large new park near a new housing development. Oh, that's so nice. A survey is conducted to determine whether Arapahoe County residents support the new park. They sampled 200 people randomly from those who are registered to vote in Arapahoe County, and 198 of them reply. Ooh. So 198 out of 200, I think we're pretty good on response. Agree? It's 200 random people. I like this. This is a good idea. What is population of interest? People who live in Arapahoe County. Which bias is potentially a problem here? I actually think that it falls under coverage that you don't really realize. Of the people they surveyed, those people they surveyed had to be what in the Arapahoe County? They had to be a registered voter. Okay? Not everyone who lives in Arapahoe County who pays taxes is a registered voter. Okay? If you're not a registered voter, it doesn't mean that you don't get the right to participate in the survey. So I think that you have some problem there with undercoverage because not everybody in Arapahoe County is a registered voter. Okay? And then which people could not end up in the sample? We just answered that. People who are non-registered voters. Explain as specifically as you can how the bias might lead to an unrepresentative sample. Okay, so people might choose to not be a registered voter for a number of reasons. One big reason why people might not be a registered voter. You guys want to know why? I was selected to be this a while back, and I got out of it using statistics. Jury duty, yeah. Registered voting, if you're a registered voter, they use voter registration to quote-unquote randomly pick people who are registered voters in that county to go on jury duty. So let's say someone gave up a large amount of time and it was like, okay, what do I have to do to get out of jury duty? So they do a Google search and it says, don't be a registered voter. And for the past 35 years, they've not been a registered voter and they haven't been called for jury duty. Well, I understand. I understand. Well, you know what? But you also might get the person going, no matter who I voted for in all those other elections, they never won. So why should I even vote? Writing in Mickey Mouse every time I vote. All right. Hey, do you have that done? Is your name on it? If so, get it to me.